Friends, welcome to SermonLink. Pastor Larry Brown here, as always, with our SermonLink edition for this week, and glad that you're connecting with us. This is a ministry of Powell United Methodist Church. Hey, give us a share or a like as you're viewing today, and that helps us to extend the word and the message even farther, so we really appreciate that. Tonight we're going to be, as you can see, in the prophet Micah. Now these passages throughout this month are connecting to an Advent study that we're doing in our congregation, a book written by Adam Hamilton called Incarnation. And these passages, like the one for today from Micah, are traditionally a part of the season of Advent, these 4 weeks, 4 Sundays, in preparation for the celebration of Christmas. So there's all of those themes of getting ready, of anticipation, of expectation, and of watching and waiting and being ready for what God will do. So let's turn to the passage. Let me read it, and then we'll just spend our few minutes reflecting on it together. But you, O Bethlehem of Ephrathah, who are one of the little clans of Judah, from you shall come forth for me one who is to rule in Israel, whose origin is from of old, from ancient days. And therefore he shall give them up until the time when she who is in labor has brought forth. Then the rest of his kindred shall return to the people of Israel. And he shall stand and feed his flock in the strength of the Lord, and the majesty of the name of the Lord of his God, and they shall live secure, for now he shall be great to the ends of the earth, and he shall be one of peace. In Micah, the focus is on the experience the people were having as they returned from the difficult struggle, generation of struggle that we call the exile, when they were pulled away from their places of life and faith and then held captive, oppressed in a foreign land. And so what's happening here in Micah is those people are returning, and they're coming back to find Jerusalem and the territory of Judah all but destroyed. And so while they are set free, they are really held captive by the depth of their problem and their inability to see a future. They can't even figure out what next step to take. And so what Micah is saying to them is that the God who is with them, even in their time of struggle, is the God who's with them now. And the God who's with them now is the God who will be with them. And that God will provide for them. In fact, specifically, Micah is saying here, God will provide a king, one who will rule. And this is, of course, one of the great needs that people had, one for leadership. We've just come through a time of election. And, I think even in our own time, in our own countries, our nations, our communities, our churches, we seek leadership, and a leadership that we can feel hopeful about and who instills in us hope. And so that's what the people were after. And Micah says God is going to provide. One will come from God, a king, to rule. And that rule, that realm of the one who God sends, will provide for their every need. We hear this passage as Christians, and we think of Jesus. And we have to, we must, because Jesus is our king. This is what we say. And that's the part of the passage I just wanted us to think about. What does it mean for Jesus to be our king, to have authority and rule in our lives? It's a situation that is not just who Jesus is, but it becomes then our awareness of who we are because of who he is. So if Jesus is our king, and he is the one who holds authority in our life, then we are within his kingdom, and we are within the influence of his presence and what he provides for us. And of course, we are also called by Christ to participate in his mission, to care for those who are in need, to respond compassionately to those who are hurting, and to share out of our abundance so that others are not left wanting. All of that is a part of recognizing that Jesus is our King. So the people longed for that one to come. God has given us that one. and that is Jesus our Lord. Now, the other aspect of this, and we just got another moment together, I know, but it's a fascinating depth of dimension on this passage, is that as we're in Advent anticipating Christ coming again, we also know Christ is with us. So what that means is it's an already and a not yet. It's a now and then. In other words, we are in the kingdom now, and that reality, as I've just said, calls us to be about a certain way of life in this world. And then there is more to come. Christ enters even more deeply into our lives, and we live more deeply in faith into the reality of the kingdom. So we grow spiritually in this season. That's my prayer for me, for you, that we would affirm once more Jesus our King, that we would know we live within his kingdom, and we feel that call both now and into the future, and that we are solidly planted in our roots of faith now, but then know we will grow and deepen in this life of faith in the days to come. Friends, thanks for being here and with us today. We'll be back always every week, myself or Pastor Katya, and we're just so glad that you're connecting with us. Have a good rest of this week, and we'll see you next time on SermonLink. Take care for now.